Salah. First touch, Salah. Might need a bit of help now. He doesn't. What a turnaround for Liverpool. It's 2 goals in a matter of minutes. Salah puts them into the lead. He's got all sorts of options, all sorts of angles, and he sent Meslier the wrong way. Come forward, he challenged Salah. Active again. Now the goal scorer becomes the assister. And he scored for the second time this evening. And Liverpool had 3, and he assisted on the other one as well.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yes, everyone. Welcome to episode 65 of FPL Bros. And we're coming to the end of Game Week 26. It's just finished. How's everyone doing?
All good?
Yeah, feeling positive. Decent game week.
Wonderful. I think it's hundreds all round, wasn't it? We're all in the hundreds club. Have I got that right? Well,
yeah, I think that's kind of the minimum you should really be getting this week. 100.
That's the minimum.
70. Average is 80, sorry. 79.
Is that the average?
Yeah, so lots of people triple captain Trent. There's quite a few. I mean, relatively speaking, I saw that it was only about 5%, but still 5% of 9 million players. That's still going to be a lot, isn't it? Yeah. A fair few.
Can't lie, I was tempted to do that, but I thought, let me not take risks.
No, I also thought that, but I spoke to Kojo, and he said, look, man, don't try to be too clever.
I did think it would be ballsy. I mean, don't get me wrong, 6 points is not exactly anything to be sniffed at. I saw somebody out there who captained. What's the worst captain I saw this week? I'm pretty certain I saw somebody captain Antonio this week.
I saw Ben Lear triple captain. I'm not like, but that wasn't bad. That's not bad. That's a goal and then 2 clean sheets. I mean, captaining Trent isn't necessarily a bad idea, but in a week where you just know Salah's going to get something, it's it'll end in tears.
Yeah.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
So anyway, I mean, we might as well bask in the glory. Who wants to just start off about their game week? You don't have to go into detail. Just say how many points you're getting or how many.
Triple captain Salah, and I think I'm finishing with 130 points, and I took a -4 point hit.
No way. That's well. I'll ditto everything that Derek just.
You're getting 130 points
with a -4 hit.
Okay. I think I'm getting 152. Again, sorry, it's 156, but I took a -4 as well. Triple captain Salah, obviously. So yeah, cheers, big cheers, big ups all round. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful stuff. All right.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
So let's have a look at game week 27, which is a blank game week in the sense that Arsenal, Chelsea, Aston Villa and Liverpool are not playing. And obviously this is going to be quite a big deal for a lot of active managers because anybody with any sense probably owns at least 2 Liverpool players. There's a good chance that a lot of people own 1 or 2 Arsenal players as well. So you could be looking at having to use the whole of your bench this week, or you may have other plans. So what do you think, fellas? What should people be thinking about in terms of chips, or maybe what players they want to look at this coming game week?
Personally, for me, I'd say no chips. There's no games that stand out as much as I've historically seen to justify using a chip. If any chips are going to be used, then obviously a wild card, because you might have a team which is like you've got loads of injuries or you've just got players who are not performing. So yeah, I would say chips wise, save it. and just weather the storm.
True. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think sometimes in blank game weeks you get people who only put out 8, 9, or even just 10 playing players, and they still do all right. So, yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, Jamie, did you have any comment on that in terms of chip use?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm personally, I've got 2 reds, and which would leave me with what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playing players. if I go with no, I've got 1 free transfer. So let's just say, for argument's sake, 7 playing players. I mean, I feel like it'll be a big risk for me to take the hit. I don't know. So I'm chips wise, but I've got a solid side generally. Like, my side's pretty well, and all of them are in form. So I don't know. I'm looking at free hit, considering it, but I need to look ahead and look at the other weeks coming up and see if, because I've still got 2 free hits. Okay. I haven't used one yet. I'm lucky. The only chip I've used so far is the triple captain. I've still got a wild card and 2 free hits. So I've got quite a few chips to play with at the moment.
Have you got bench boost as well?
I have got bench boost as well. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So if I do it well and I combine, well, what I'm thinking is I'll pick when I use my free hits, maybe 1 this week and 1 in the coming week, because there's another week coming up that looks a bit dodgy, and then wild card and then bench boost the following week, because the wild card will help me fill out my bench quite nice.
Yeah, that's
the game plan.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just going to say, I think a lot of people who've got 2 free hit chips are thinking of using 1 this week, because nobody wants to transfer out their Liverpool players and transfer them back in. You know, just as one reason, for example. A lot of people probably also want to hold on to Saka, or they've got Alonso or Rudiger, and I'll hold on to them as well, for example. So briefly, if you were to free hit, and if you had 2 free hits, that is certainly something I wouldn't be against doing. Apparently, although Derek quite rightly pointed out, there's nothing that really sets the pulses racing this game week anyway. But people have got their eye on Burnley players, funnily enough. Leeds players, although I think only Rafinha, the only person really worth looking at, unless you want to have a punt on Daniel James, I suppose. Villa players, you've got the usual suspects there: Coutinho, Ramsey, who'll save you a nice bit of money. Then Digne as well as a Villa player. If you want to be risky, you might think about Watkins or Ings, but Watkins seems to have gone off the boil lately, and with Ings, you never know whether he's going to get 90 minutes or not. And then Wolves players, I think Jimenez is the main one, but people are looking at size as well. People are looking at Ait Nouri. They're looking at the goalkeeper Sarr.
You got to look at Podence and Neto as well.
Yeah, Podence and Neto definitely, but again,
Neto's back in.
Yeah. I mean, whether they're going to get the 90 minutes or not, it's a bit of a guessing game. And then finally, Spurs. I knew you were going to like that one, but
I just love them. I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
Great top side.
Anyway, all I can say is, long-term, Son and Kane are quality players, and like we pointed out last week, you never quite know when Kane is going to go off on one. So sometimes if you buy the lottery ticket, you're in it to win it. You buy the ticket to see what happens, see what he's going to do, because he may well do something. I just want to make a brief point on that. See, this is the thing about FPL. It's all very well identifying good players and bad players, but what you really want to do is identify predictable players. Yeah, the game's about prediction. You know, we all know who's good, we all know who's bad, but you need to know when they're going to be good and when they're going to be bad. Never forget that. So yeah, I don't really think there's anybody else worth considering at Spurs. If you want to spend a lot of money on a goalkeeper, you might want to go for Lloris. Ben Davies seems to be the only defender worth having, but then he's usually in the back three, and they don't really do an awful lot. So yeah, that would be a menu for a free hit. Also,
I mean, you've left out all Man United players who are playing Watford this weekend.
Yes. Well, I mean,
they're up and down. It's Watford and it's Man United. They should be able to nick a goal somewhere. At least.
I think they're kind of creeping into the Spurs territory in that you just never know what you're going to get. You know, if you want to spend the money on Ronaldo, you could do. I mean, I think Cavani's injured at the moment, so he's definitely starting at top. Fernandes again, there's a lot of money, but you know, if you want to swap in Salah for one game, if you're going free hit and you're not going to use Salah, you might go Fernandes. I've heard a lot of people talk about Sancho. You know, it's only taken him 26 game weeks, but now he's the player I thought he was going to be in game week 1. And God
To be
damn
honest,
it.
I wouldn't even look at Sancho. I would look at what's that kid called, Elanga?
Elanga, yes, quite Elanga. I would
Because he's
definitely.
he's a cheaper option. Because the thing about Man United is they're players who you think you predict might do something would take up a large chunk of your budget, and it's just like it doesn't leave you much room to get anyone else.
Anyone else?
Because Ronaldo and Fernandes, that's 4 players worth. That's 4 players worth of.
It is absolutely, and you know you're going to be getting fodder with what you've got left, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, end up with some kind of Spurs player.
Okay.
I think personally, for this week, there's not a lot of players out there, but I think one team you guys have forgotten to mention is Southampton. They're for me the team I expect the results from this week. Then sick form. They're going to be at home to Norwich, who are not doing too badly, but they are still getting battered.
Yeah.
And literally fighting for relegation. I saw most of the game when they played. What team was it they played? The one they won 2-0. Everton, that was it. And Walker Peters looked so dangerous on the ball. It was ridiculous. He didn't get anything in the end, but Walker Peters is someone I definitely look at, not just in the short term, but in the long term. They've got a lot of good fixtures coming up for them. And then obviously I'd look at either in the midfield, you look at Ward-Prowse, who is delivering, like he's on all the set pieces and his balls are so dangerous, or look at Broja as well, up front.
Yeah, Broja.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
I was going to come on to it, but if you were thinking, definitely long term, and you're looking at Wildcard, certainly up until game week 30, because I might as well say this now. My plan is to save my free hit for game week 30 because I think that's going to be one of the FA Cup weekends. And if I'm not mistaken, there's only 1 or 2 100% confirmed fixtures that weekend. You know, we might end up with only 3 or 4 because the teams that tend to go far in the FA Cup tend to be the teams that are in the Premier League and we want to have players from. So I'm looking at free hit game week 30 and then wildcard game week 31. And then I'm probably going to bench boost in game week 36 because that's looking like it could be a massive double game week with, you know, maybe, you know, 8 or 9 extra games, something like that.
But what makes you predict that? Just because of them? Just because they're going to have to round it up?
It's because that's how they usually schedule it every season. Because of the FA Cup games, you know, you have to fit them in midweek. And again, because it's the high-performing Premier League teams who get far in the FA Cup, they tend to be in Europe as well. So the only weeks that they can reschedule those games, because they've got midweek Europe or whatever, tends to be like towards the end of the season. There's a lot of talk about game week 36 being the week where they get rescheduled. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, as the end of the season approaches, we'll know much better when the big double game week is going to. You know, it might be game week 35 or something. I don't know. But it's usually around then. Okay, but I just want to briefly say, in addition to all the players and teams that I mentioned before, Broja, yes, maybe Sterling, because he looks like he's firing right now. But I don't think Man City have got a fantastic fixture, have they?
No, they haven't got a great run. For City, I'll just keep Cancelo. That's probably the only player.
Cancelo, yeah, fair enough. And then, even though Burnley are propping up the table, they're still dangerous, and they've still got doubles coming up in 28 and 29 as well, I think, because they had all those games called off. So Weghorst, you know, you could be looking at that guy playing 4 or 5 games at the same time everybody else is only playing 2 or 3. And Weghorst's numbers are decent. Just came away with 14 points this game week. So Weghorst for Burnley. Some people are also looking at Burnley defenders. Again, this is just maximising fixtures because I don't know how many clean sheets are going to get you, but the famous Ben Mee and Tarkowski, people are also thinking about them as well. Max Cornet, there's something up with him at the moment. I think it's his foot or his knee or his ankle or his Achilles. I don't know. So he's one to watch if you want to save a bit of money in midfield. But yeah, that's what I would say. Probably a bit more long term looking if you're wild carding. But yeah, I mean, what about you guys? Do you know what you're going to do with the rest of your chips?
I mean, personally, I think I'm pretty nailed on because of where I know this is obviously very personal, but I'm about 4 points clear in the manager of the month for this month.
Wow.
So I know that if I flop this week, that could be it amount. And like the next 3 positions are all within like 10 points behind me. So like, I can't flop. I need to get the 3 hits so I can get my second manager of the month trophy.
This is what it's like at the top, man.
Hey, it's not easy, man. They're nipping at your heels. I mean, look at Man City. So yeah, I'm probably free hitting this week. Not sure when I will next free hit. Might have a look. I just play it by ear. But then I quite like your strategy of the what's the word of the wild card and then the bench boost later on in the game week. Maybe free hit week 36, like you said, and then bench boost game thingy and bench boost around game week 30, 31. But I suppose it's just like everything is scheduled to change. I mean, like, and then I was just it changes very quickly. And I was scrolling through. Obviously, this is like the famous fixture difficulty rating. But when you scroll through and you look at Spurs, and you just kind of look at what they've got. Obviously, there's a North London derby that needs to be slotted in somewhere. I mean, generally, they've got United and they've got Liverpool. And those 2 fixtures are the only ones that stick out to me. Everything else is like in around winnable fixtures. But I mean, it's Spurs. But do you know what I mean? Like you've got Leeds, Everton, Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Leicester, like Burnley and Norwich. Like they're not scary fixtures. So like you could hold a Harry Kane in there, and he might be nicking 1-2 every week. Like you just never know.
Thing. Along with everything else, you know he's going to play 90 minutes, right?
Every single one of these games.
They're going to play him, and you know they're going to need him. They ain't thinking about benching that guy. And it's pretty much the same with Son. And who knows? I mean, although Conte showed that he can be outthought by Sean Dyche, he also showed that he could outthink Pep Guardiola. So who knows?
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
I've heard that Harry Kane's going to be player manager.
He's going to be what?
Isn't it his brother who's going to be his brother?
Because Conte wants to leave, apparently. He's not happy with it.
That's a bit premature for him. He's got to say, I want X and Y player for 200 million. Then they say no. Then he leaves. He's without even throwing a tantrum about the expensive players he wants.
Did you read his quotes though, or did you hear his quotes? He said, look. What did he say? He said, Tottenham have changed many managers, but the players have remained the same. Yet Tottenham are still unsuccessful. I was like, oh my gosh.
Maybe something was lost in translation. Perhaps they take that kind of thing differently in Italy.
He's taking it to heart, isn't he? Jesus.
It's not easy, man. You beat Man City and then you lose to Burnley. You couldn't do it a cold night in Burnley.
It's such a cliche, isn't it? Actually, I just want to say that obviously congratulations for Liverpool for winning that game in hand. But 6-0, like Leeds, what were they doing?
Leeds. It's not what Leeds were doing, it's what Liverpool were doing. They played so well. They moved the ball around so quickly. Like that goal that Mane scored is his first goal? Yeah, his first goal when Salah crossed the ball back to Henderson. That was just like you can't defend against moves like that. You just can't defend against.
It was a good move, but I thought the game was done at 4. That's the thing, though. It's like they were really lost after that, Leeds, weren't they? So lost. I mean, Van Dijk didn't even have to get off the ground to score his goal.
I know.
He literally sauntered into the box and brushed it with his head. And I thought,
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you leave Virgil van Dijk in the middle of the box for a free header.
Because he came up for the corner. You knew what he was coming up for. you know,
Mm.
and he's not, you know, he wasn't there to plant flowers or anything, was he? Anyway.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, right. Yeah. Anything else at all?
No, nothing much. Just yeah, like it's been a good game week. Personally, I'm quite happy with how this week has turned out.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be crying real tears, but a lot of people are going to be crying tears of joy, especially for an Arsenal fan. So yeah,
Boy, this week.
I've got no time for anybody who didn't captain or triple captain Salah. I mean, seriously, you know, there was a reason I put him in the graphic for our last episode. You know, don't overthink it. Don't mess about. When FPL throws you a freaking bone, you take it. Yeah. You just
all right.
You don't ask questions.
Top two captain choices for an imaginary wildcard team. Go
For this week.
Oh
my gosh.
Top two
Vegas
choices.
Fernandes.
Fernandes. Good shout.
I would go. Oh gosh, that's I would stick with Workhorse, yeah, just because of double game week. There's more chance of him doing something. And Kane.
Good shout. I'm going. My top two would be Son and Kane's making me think. I'd go Son and Sterling.
Okay. Hey.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm like, the thing is, maybe I've been burnt too many times before, but I just can't pick a Man City player as my captain. You just don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
we've been there before. We've been there before.
They just got too many players. I was gonna say KPB, and I thought, what am I playing at? Who am I?
It's painful.
But my reason for actually saying a City name is because Liverpool are now 3 points away, have a better goal difference. They literally can't lose, and Pep is going to be on them. Like, you know, when you're getting watched like a hawk, they'll think, if I don't score today, I might not get to play the next game.
You might not get a contract.
They've got everything to lose at the moment, and yeah, I just think they're gonna go for it. They're literally gonna go for it against Everton to make sure they do not lose like they did against Spurs.
He's gonna have to. Well, I'd like to think that he can certainly outthink Frank Lampard, and I don't think there's going to be any clean sheets in that game. But you're right. They've got to. You know, what's the term when you throw everything on the table? Is that a term?
Throw the kitchen sink at it?
Yeah.
No.
No. I mean, they just got to just throw everything out there. They're just got to go
time?
all out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
Squeaky bum time.
Squeaky bum time.
It is squeaky gum time.
We're in February.
Yeah, it's not squeaky bum time. You mean they just got to show their cards? They just got to go all in. Is that what you mean? Go all in.
All in. That's it. They've got to go all in. Absolutely. You know, 4 up top. It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
City have got United next week, you know, though. Like game week 28, and you just know that that's just it. That's it. It's going to be level points that are coming into game week 29. They're going to lose. They're going to lose to United. It's just happened.
I can't help thinking that United will be ruining the party, but then do they really want to give Liverpool a chance as well?
I mean, it's the devil. It's whichever. I don't know. The devil, you know. I guess. I don't know.
The devil, you know. See, we're coming out with all the sayings tonight, aren't we? Rock in a hard place. I was going to say, but
rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a dilemma for United. What are they going to do? Either way, it's painful for them, isn't it?
I mean, if United are in such a position of power that they can decide if they beat or lose against City, then I don't know.
There is that, I suppose. They can take that credit, can't they?
Yeah. Oh, good.
I know.
All right.
Decisions.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, well, let's leave it there. Thank you both for doing the pod tonight. I really appreciate it. If you are listening on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It really helps us out, and we'd be very grateful if you do that. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So I'm going to stop talking now and just say, again, I just got to give props to anybody who triple captained Salah this week. Yeah, you know, big, massive props for anyone who did that. But I'm out. Goodbye. That's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Take care, guys.